Hello, my name is Scott Cutcher. I'm with France Lighting Solutions, and this is your week's Minute to Win It. So this week, we're going to continue about power supplies. I know, Snoozeville, blah, 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 but I just want to continue to drive home key features as I talk to people. I ended up having another conversation with a gentleman that said, well, you know, I have a power supply here that's IP68 rated. Well, IP68 means ingress progression. That's what IP stands for, ingress progression. So how much can liquids get in and how much can dust get in, right? So the first number is 6 is a high number for dust, and pretty much nothing can get in, and 8 is just about as high as you can go for the water. So ours is IP68. There's a lot of great IP68 out there, and the one that he was talking about was an IP68. I said, well, great. If it's an IP68, is it wetlisted? So what do you mean? I said, you're telling me you've installed a sign underneath a wet feature inside of an apartment complex, and you're having problems with this power supply. It needs to be wetlisted. He goes, well, it's IP68. I said, okay, there's IP68 and then there's IP68 wetlisted. And the difference is IP68 allows you to put it in wet locations and more damp locations where it's splashed with water and rained on and things like that. But places where a lot of moisture pools and it could actually get submerged from time to time, you need a wetlisted IP68 driver. And those usually come with basically threaded nipples on the ends where you can put your conduit in and just screw it into there and it seals it properly. So what's the difference between the two? Just that. With those nipples, you're able to seal it with a Loctite conduit and make sure that it's got a good tight seal on it so you don't have to worry about any water coming in through the wiring. Where with an IP68 straight up without being wetlisted, you may, if you don't put your wire nuts right, seal it in a can, do some extra things, water can still possibly get to it and kind of go into it if it's sitting. If it's splashing, rained on, but if it's sitting, that water can work its way in there. So that's the difference between those two, and that is this week's Minute to Win It.